Gaza is a crime scene. Dust it off, and you will find the fingerprints of British editors and British journalists amongst the apocalyptic rubble. British media outlets, including some represented here today, have not been passive bystanders in one of the great crimes of our age, but they have been active participants. From the very beginning, there was an avalanche of genocidal and criminal statements of intent by Israeli leaders, and yet the Western media buried these statements or simply didn't cover them at all, let alone frame their coverage around them, despite them offering the most accurate roadmap to what Israel, in fact, went on to do. Even today, Western media outlets refuse to accurately reflect unambiguously genocidal official Israeli policy. There hasn't even been the slightest pretense that Palestinian life has any worth whatsoever. The lie of beheaded Israeli babies received infinitely more outrage and coverage than the actual mass butchery of Palestinian babies it was used to justify. The Western media has continually amplified Israeli lies despite overwhelming evidence of relentless deceit. Palestinian voices have been systematically marginalised or subjected to perverse show trials on BBC and Sky News. Atrocities have been ignored and whitewashed. Israeli guilt repeatedly erased. The facts of international law suppressed. Opponents of genocide have been systematically deplatformed or monstered or both. And the vast majority of Western journalists couldn't even utter one sentence of solidarity with their Palestinian colleagues in Gaza as they suffered the worst slaughter of journalists in the history of our species, like Hossam Shaba, like Hassan Esliya, and yes, like Hamza al-Dadoud. The Western media has no excuses and nowhere to hide. No crime in history has been so thoroughly documented as it happened. No crime in history has been so boasted about by its perpetrators, from politicians at the top to soldiers on the ground, as it happened. There must be a reckoning. The absence of consequences for the Iraq war paved the way for this catastrophe. This time, those in the Western media who have facilitated genocide must suffer the consequences to their careers and reputations. Not for vengeance, but because if this time there are no consequences, then we condemn humanity to ever greater calamities. One day there is going to be a reckoning. And the superiors who made these decisions should be forced to defend their decisions in front of the whole world. This is the biggest scandal of Western journalism in modern history.